Hey, welcome to Dallas Stock Talk, where I talk about topics relating to investing in finance, but more specifically, the stock market. In this video, I'll be talking about this new vacation rental platform called Here. But before we get started, make sure you smash the like button because it helps YouTube algorithm. It helps YouTube know that this content can help my videos reach a broader audience. Now, I came across this platform because one of my subscribers asked me to critique it or go over this particular platform. It's called Here. I actually never heard about it before, but I told him that I would definitely do a video on it. Now, guys, I want to let you know that I haven't heard that much about it. Of course, I watched a few videos and did some type of research on it and stuff like this, but I'm going to tell you what I personally think about this based off of my experience so far. So let's go over it. It allows you to invest in vacation rentals. You can get fractional shares. A lot of times that's kind of common with these crowdfunding. So with as little as $100, you can buy a fractional share of the rental property. And what end up happening is each quarter, they end up paying out dividend with as little as $100. But let's scroll down to see how this particular works. So on their site, they said that the average monthly rental to revenue, as far as traditional rental, it's raining, I guess I'll neglect that, versus vacation rental. Now, real estate is not really my area of expertise. I'm way more knowledgeable with stocks. So whether this is true or not, I'm not really sure, but I would definitely take this with a grain of salt because one, it's their particular chart, and I wouldn't put too much emphasis on it. If you're into real estate, you're into real estate, but I can't really vouch for this. Now, I will say signing up is very easy. You can just get easy access now, and just enter that information, and then it already pops up. Everything comes up really nice and everything. So that part was nice. One thing I would say that I do like about this particular platform is you don't actually have to enter your bank information and stuff like that until you actually purchase a share. So they'll let you see the properties that they have on hand and stuff beforehand, and then once you actually purchase it, then that's when you enter your bank information and stuff like that. But let's go over how does it work. All right, so how does it work? So it's a pretty straightforward process. Step one, browse the marketplace for available properties that fit your investment criteria. Two, invest how much you would like to invest electronically. And then three, relax. Yeah, and then to take care day to day, you sit back and earn your shares on net monthly income and potential property appreciation. Now, I will want to let you know with a lot of times with vacation rentals, most of the time you're not really going to get the money from appreciation, but mainly from renting it out. Just want to kind of let you guys know. Okay, and by the way, this is a relatively new platform. I just want to let you guys know. So to give you guys a heads up, any type of new investing platform, just be cautious because you got a lot of companies that could potentially be fake or poor management. So whenever you invest your money, make sure you know as much as possible. Try to get as much knowledge as possible, because this company has not been around for a while, and I don't like to sound pessimistic or something like that, but you do got to keep in mind that companies do go out of business and stuff like that. So wherever you put your money in, you want to make sure that your money is safe. There's no illegal practices and things like that. Not saying that that's what this one in particular, but a lot of times you just have to be careful, especially with these new platforms coming out, especially everything online, pictures and stuff like that. Just be careful. That's all I'm particularly saying. Now, there is a lot of questions that I'm assuming that you particularly have. And there's a lot of questions that I had, and I actually, as you can see right here, I've been asking them a lot of questions. All right, so let's sign on to my account. So right now, like I said, this is relatively new. So these are all, so it looks like they have 7 altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like they have 7 altogether. That's out of their whole, all of them together. As far as how the payments will come out and stuff like that, I really can't speak on it. because I literally I literally just bought this property, one share of this property today. So like literally just bought it. And by the way, this is kind of very interesting because I got an email that these three properties would be able that you can invest in, like literally in today, and it looks like um at 1 o'clock that's when you could buy it, and at 2 o'clock this one's already sold out. And these ones, so like apparently these are going pretty quickly. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but maybe because people are like excited about it. But here's the thing: let's click on the view property so we can kind of see what information we'll end up seeing. So as we scroll down, it looks like it tells you the bedrooms, the number of beds, square foot, everything that you would probably, as far as the inside of the house. And this one is Blue Ridge Mountain. Let's click on that. Well, this is my first time kind of using it, but they give you an overall, according to Zillow, what the price is, blah, blah, blah. Financing, interest, this is for 1 year. 10% is, in my opinion, is kind of high, but feature zone, they have their market grade, what they would rate everything from, as far as rental, as far as market grade, as far as rental demand, by using a combination of annual occupancy, uh, seasons, regulations, investability. They have different kind of grades. So I'm assuming the higher grade, the better it is. Now this is, and it shows you the average daily rate that they can end up charging in for each particular month. So that's good to know. Average occupancy, meaning like how like 79% or 70% of January is going to be occupied, 68% for February. So you guys can kind of get a feel. So it shows that. It shows you the average revenue per month that they can expect to generate. Now revenue is just sales. This is not, there's still costs and stuff. That's just the total sales. Well, revenue is when you don't include expenses and stuff like that. So maintenance and all that stuff isn't necessarily included. And it shows you the Zillow home value increase, right? So it looks like we're doing good. And let's actually see all the photos. Okay. These are the photos of the house. Okay. These are the photos of the house. Like I said, photos it's like a really nice house, honestly. I think it's about $500,000. Yeah, a little over $500,000. But it seems like there's one thing missing, right? Your expected return. Like, how much dividends will I be getting paid? And this is baffling to me because they don't tell you. So for me as an investor, that's a huge turnoff. I don't even know what expectations that I can base off of. Out of all the real estate investing platforms that I've never had one single platform not tell me any expectations of what dividends I can receive, what appreciation can I expect per share. Now, I guess you could theoretically say, oh, well, the given rate, this and that, the type of share, you could potentially expect this. But no information, you can't give me no historical data based off of vacations in general, based off maybe a little comp analysis. Oh, a property in this particular area sold, a vacation home sold for this amount. So historically or compared to the vacation houses nearby, this is what this is historically, or this is what you could suspect. Like no numbers at all. To me, I will say that is very concerning from an investor perspective. And the fact that like it's selling out that fast without this particular information, to me, like that's one of the things that definitely rubbed me the wrong way about this. So you got a new company that's like, this is what I'm looking at. You got a new company, it's already new. So my biggest concern with new company is I have to trust them. I have to be familiar with them. So this is a trial and error thing. So then I invest. I'm about to invest, but I want to know, okay, what returns? Investment is all about what's the future value, what's my returns going to be. That determines whether or not I want to invest or not. So with this, it doesn't have that. Now, of course, I asked them the question. So I asked them the question, and by the way, they do get back to you pretty quickly as far as the conversations that I particularly had with them. Right here, August 15th. It says, "What is your expected return on the vacation property?" Now, this is what they emailed me. They also emailed me, so maybe I should bring up the email. So they messaged me here, and then they also sent it to me in an email. So this is what I was told. I asked, "What is your expected return on the vacation property?" So, hey, Eamon, this is Michael from Investor Relations team. Your return will be based off of your quarterly share of monthly rental income after deducting principal, interest, blah, 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 rental costs, insurance costs, and all other costs and expenses based off of investor percentage ownership. SEC Reg A plus regulations, which is how we securitize and offer properties on the here marketplace, prevents us from speaking about projected returns or operating expenses at this time. Please take a look at each property's offering page to learn more about the typical property performs in a respective market. You can use metrics such as average daily rates, average occupancy rates, and average revenue and average appreciation value. So this is the thing for me. I'm not buying that. Like I said, I'm not a real estate expert. Real estate is out of my expertise, and I'm way more knowledgeable about stocks. But here's what I can say. This is what I can say for sure. Let me go back to this is what I can say. I've dealt with a lot of crowdfunding investing platforms, and this is the only platform that I know that didn't give me any type of projections historically of what I can expect altogether. So this whole SE, I'm not buying that because I've dealt with like at least 4 or 5 other investment platforms, crowdfunding investing platforms that offer the shares things, and all of them are able to at least give me historical data or projections. So that whole thing, I think that's excuse. And I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to say he's lying, or I'm trying to say something is missing here. I didn't like that. But at least, like I said, at least he gave a response. And let's be fair, let's actually click on the link. Yeah, offering circlet. So you want to click that. And then this is the SEC report where it can give you a lot more detailed information, and this was the document that they were kind of referring to. So if you're outside of so this is breaks down the fees, the brokerage fees, net purchase price, expenses, and all that type of stuff. So you wanted to see that. This is the information that I'm guessing that he was talking about, but I don't want to get into too detail, but you guys can definitely check that out so you can read this information and stuff from these particular documents. The other thing you may want to ask is the fees. How much would it cost? So for the fees, it looks like they says that asset management fee, we collect a quarterly asset management fee of 0.25% based on the total net value of each property. So pretty much they say quarterly, so that's pretty much a 1% management fee. That's not that bad. Now, to get the property management fee, you would have to go in that offering circular document where it would kind of break down these particular costs to know that. But from what I've looked at, I think it's okay. I think it's fair, but you kind of really have to be in the real estate industry to kind of know for sure. So I'll just take that with a grain of salt. Assume that that's okay. It says, when will I receive a payout? A payout will be deposited directly to your HERE account. If the property generates sufficient funds to make distributions, you will receive your pro distribution quarterly within 45 to 60 days at the start of the new quarter. Let's see as far as the offering process. Like I said, these are the particular offerings. If you wanted to buy something, you would just hit invest. And then, so the process is pretty simple as far as to buy something. And sometimes what people do, they'll end up entering their information into Zillow to kind of see what the price of it increase or decrease since they've been offering shares. The lowest you can get, there's each share is $1, but you have to get 100 of them right there. and then what you would end up just doing is buy. I had already bought one before, and this is a relatively new investing platform, so I'm not actually going to do it again. But when I go to the portfolio, as you can see, it's still pending. I just, like, literally just bought it. Definitely tell you guys what is going to happen. I did ask about as far as when they expect to sell it. Now, the holding period. So they said their holding period is expected to be 5 to 7 years. That seems to be, a general number as far as what they said. Definitely depends on the marketplace, blah blah blah. But they just says in general, 5 to 7 years. The decision to sell here property will be determined by our acquisition team, and it is a decision that will not be taken lightly. So that part is kind of fair. Now, here's the other thing as far as sell. I would like this information to be very clear on the website. When and how can I sell? So pretty much they're saying here gives investors the opportunity to access vacation homes as an asset. Historically, vacation homes has been a liquid asset class. A vacation rental investor would have to sell their entire property to be a prospective buyer. Generally, investors view this favorable as real estate returns are maximized when it's held for long term, and rental income is insulated from behavioral investing tendencies as seen in the public market. With that being said, investors may occasionally seek liquidity from their here property interest prior to property expected holding time. However, now this is the most important part. Here plans to offer investors liquidity through a secondary market. That means that they will, for other people that's on the particular platform, in the future they plan on to have it where you can sell your market share to someone else that if they want to buy it. But this does not exist yet. It says here plans to offer investors liquidity. Keyword plans. Didn't happen yet. And it says if a secondary market is open, investors will have the chance, not guaranteed, the chance to sell their shares, such as liquidity and compliance with transfer restrictions. There is no liquidity at this time for here property interests. So as far as if you wanted to sell the property, you wouldn't be able to do that at that particular time. So this is the bankruptcy one. I end up saying, what will happen if the company goes bankrupt? Property is put under LLC. Even if the here corporation entity were to go out of business, you would still own shares of the LLC that owns the property. If anything were to happen to here investments in incorporation, the parent property and manager of here collection LLC, we would either liquidate the assets and distribute the cash to investors or work diligently to find new managers for the LLC to continue operating the property. Now, I believe this is kind of like a common practice that I've seen from my personal experience, but it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing if like something actually happens. So providing the legal documents and stuff like that. So that kind of gets into the legal side. So the only way to know for sure, if you kind of have to probably maybe get a lawyer or something to kind of confirm things. But a lot of times with these platforms, you never really know for sure. And I always ask about bankruptcy, especially with newer companies out there. You don't know how they're making money. You don't know what's going on in the background. And at the end of the day, it is very possible where they could potentially go out of business. That's why I always look at Voyager. That's why I always ask these particular questions. But as you can see right now, it looks like they're going to have their rental income right there, appreciation, total returns, and next payments as well. Me personally, I'm just kind of trying it out. I really don't know what to expect. I'm not going to recommend this, like I said, because this is completely new. I'm just trying it out for the video so like you guys can see how the overall experience will go. The whole thing that definitely does rub me the wrong way is, one, they don't tell you what returns that I can expect, whether historically, all the other platforms, they tell you all this information. So the fact that they don't, to me, is a little bit concerning. To me, it's letting me know that they may not have like a lot of experience. They might not realistically have a clue themselves. That concludes this video. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the review or real estate investing platforms in general. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to my channel.